Hello everyone and welcome to Licklibrary. My name is Leigh Fuge, and in this video today we're going to talk about 4 songs that have hidden meanings. So when you hear your favourite rock and pop songs or whatever genre of music you listen to, it's really easy to build up an assumption of what we think the song is about based on the lyrical content. In this video we're going to talk about 4 songs that have meanings which aren't necessarily as obvious as they may seem, or perhaps they even have some kind of underlying conspiracy about what the song is actually about. So by the time you've checked out these 4, you may have come up with some of your own. So I'd love to hear what hidden meanings you have from songs that I've not mentioned in this list. Please throw those down below in the comments so we can check those out and have a really cool discussion about them. All the songs that I talk about in this video are timestamped down below in the description, so if you guys want to fast forward to any of those sections, you can do so. We're going to be talking about Rush, because you did hear me play a little bit of Rush there at the start. We're going to be talking about Led Zeppelin, the Eagles, and a bit of a curveball one here. We're also going to be talking about a Bonnie Tyler track. So let's dive straight in with the Rush song that you heard me talking about at the start of the video. Now that was the riff from the song YYZ. I'm going to play that once more just to refresh your memory, or perhaps you've not heard this riff before, so here's how it sounds. If rhythmically that almost sounded a little bit out to you, that's because this is in a time signature called 5/4. Rush, being a prog rock band, often utilise time signatures beyond the standard 4/4 formula, that being one of them where there's 5 beats in the bar. So it can sound a little weird if you've not heard that kind of time signature before. The other reason this sounds slightly jarring is we're using a flat 5 interval, which also gives a bit of a dissonant kind of quality to the riff as well. But this one isn't really a hidden meaning, I guess. This is more of just a really cool fact about that riff. So the riff for the track YYZ is actually inspired by Morse code based on the airport 3-letter identifier code for Toronto, which is where the band are from. So Toronto Airport is actually known as YYZ. That's their kind of call sign. All airports have a 3-letter call sign. That is the Toronto call sign. So you may now be wondering, how can Morse code inspire a guitar riff? So Morse code is obviously a series of short and long dashes. Each letter has a different combination of them. So the Morse code for the letter Y is this. So it's a long pulse, a short pulse, and 2 more long pulses. Obviously we're playing that twice because it's YY. And the Morse code for the letter Z is 2 long pulses and 2 short pulses. So when we put those together, we actually get the rhythm of the riff. So we have Y, Y, Z. Put those together. So the Morse code identifier for the airport actually inspired the riff, and then the band then just put those notes to it. And there you have it. There is the Rush riff for the track YYZ. Pretty cool fact about that riff, I think. Alright, next up we're going for the forbidden guitar shop riff. This is Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. We all know how that riff goes. Now that's obviously one that, that's been barred for guitar shops for the longest time. If you try and play that riff in a guitar shop, you're definitely going to get a few strange looks. Now, on the surface, the song Stairway to Heaven, according to Robert Plant, is a song about greed. He says that it's a kind of critique or commentary on an overly materialistic society. Basically the idea that people go through life wanting to acquire possessions and things which ultimately don't mean anything when it comes to the end of the road. Because we can build up as much stuff as we want in our lifetime, but when it comes down to what really matters in life, we don't really need any of it. That's kind of the whole ethos and the idea behind what Stairway to Heaven is. But this song has had a ton of different interpretations thrown at it, most of which have a slightly dark and even satanic connotation. The most famous one of these is during the verse that starts with the line, "If there's a bustle in your hedgerow." I think this is maybe the fourth or maybe even the third verse of the song. If you play that backwards, you allegedly get a hidden message which opens with the line, "Here's to my sweet Satan," and you can kind of guess where the rest of that might take you. This is a really interesting idea because it is common knowledge that Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin was a big fan of Aleister Crowley, and he did dabble in a lot of the dark arts. He was a big fan of kind of black magic and other satanic imagery, and Led Zeppelin have always had a little bit of a tie to that kind of world. They did dabble in a lot of that stuff in the 70s. So it wouldn't be surprising if it was intentionally put there by the band to create that kind of hysteria and kind of idea. Or maybe there really is some kind of hidden mystery going on with Stairway to Heaven. This is quite a big discussion point, so this would actually be really interesting to talk about with you guys. So let me know what you think about that down below in the comments. Have you checked out that verse played backwards? What do you think of the hidden message? The third track we're going to talk about isn't really a guitar-centric song. This is just a song that is just an example of great songwriting. And this is the Bonnie Tyler track, Total Eclipse of the Heart. Not only is this a fantastic 80s power ballad with a really cool kind of hidden meaning or sort of alternate meaning, but also Bonnie Tyler's Welsh and I'm Welsh and I live in the same town as Bonnie, so I do have to mention this because she's kind of a local resident of where I live. So this song, as I said, isn't really guitar centric. It doesn't really have any, massively identifiable guitar riffs, so I'm just going to play a little bit of the vocal melody on the guitar. So this song was actually written by the famous composer and songwriter Jim Steinman. Now you may know Jim's work best from his work with Meat Loaf. He wrote a bunch of songs for Bonnie in the 80s, and this being one of them, this was a huge hit. Now on the surface, this song actually comes across as, your typical 80s power ballad. It's about love, it's about feelings, it's about heartbreak, it's about all those things that a great 80s rock power ballad needs. But it's not actually about that at all. Now the work that Jim Steinman is famous for with Meat Loaf would obviously be the Bat Out of Hell series of albums. Now these have a very, very kind of obvious bat and vampire kind of based theme running through them. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this. Total Eclipse of the Heart is actually about vampires. It doesn't sound like that on the surface, but that's actually what Jim Steinman wrote these lyrics about. The original working title of this song was actually called Vampires in Love, and Steinman actually penned this song for the Broadway musical Nosferatu, but it ended up getting its way into Bonnie's hands and becoming the huge hit that it was. Now many people have always assumed that this song is about love, but actually it's just about life in eternal darkness, according to Jim Steinman. It's literally a song about what it's like to be a vampire. The fourth and final one I'm going to talk about is another one that you're bound to know this song, and because there's so many different variations of what this one's actually about, you may even have your own variation and your own take on this one. This is Hotel California by the Eagles. So this one actually has a couple of different avenues we can go down. Now, the idea behind the hidden meaning of this song mostly stems from the line that precedes the guitar solo, which is, "You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave." And that line really got people thinking, what is this song actually about? So some people have come up with the theory that this song is about prison, because obviously you're in prison and you can't leave. It's like a hotel, but you can't just leave the place. Some people say it's the dark side of the American dream, and probably the most famous and most kind of well-known kind of interpretation of this lyric is that it's to do with substance abuse. Now obviously the 1970s, in the rock world, substance abuse and misuse was everywhere, so it's not hard to find bands who didn't go down those paths. And the whole idea behind that kind of way of thinking is, once you enter into that world, it's really hard to get away from it because you become tied up in all the different things that go with addiction and all the other problems that come with it. So many people think Hotel California is actually about dealing with those kind of personal demons and personal struggles. But like with Stairway to Heaven and probably many other songs with hidden meanings, there are people who actually think there's a satanic link to this as well. But the Eagles have actually come out and said this is actually about a hotel in California, which is the Beverly Hills Hotel. That's actually the hotel that's on the cover of the album. They've actually said they actually referenced the hotel directly because they wrote the song about the place. But the satanic link actually comes from the cover art. If you look very closely on the cover art, there's a scene where everyone's gathered around the pool, and up on the balcony you can see a man who looks a lot like Anton Lavey, who is the founder of the Church of Satan. So many people think there's a bit of a link there, and there are also some sections of this song, allegedly, which if you play them backwards, kind of hint towards some satanic and dark messaging as well. Thank you all for watching this video on 4 songs with hidden meanings. I'd love to hear if there are any other songs that you guys know of that have hidden meanings. There's also a link down below in the description to a blog over on the Licklibrary website where you can check out a couple of other songs that I've not talked about and some of the hidden meanings behind those as well. This is going to be a great fun discussion topic for us to all have some fun with down in the comments, so throw your ones down below and get involved. I'd love to hear what you guys think and what songs you think I've missed. If you're looking to push yourself as a guitar player and you want to break through to that next level, or perhaps you want to explore some of the riffs and artists that we've talked about in this video, you can head over to licklibrary.com and sign up for the library of lessons over there. There's a huge array of stuff from basic lessons through to song and album breakdowns. Some of these artists and some of your other artists with hidden meanings in their songs may also be included over there as well, so please go check that out. Don't forget to subscribe to the Licklibrary YouTube channel. If you've enjoyed this video, there's plenty more content just like this on the channel for you to check out. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys very soon.